Perfect. So, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Sharon Whiteman. I know mostly everybody who's arrived so far. We've got an amazing community. And no different to that is our partnership with Dinah Hunter and Gary Knapp, who we've been putting this call on for somewhere around 15 years now. And it blesses us each and every week. We love being here with you. We love our topics, whether it's our mission, our mission is so multi-focused, isn't it? So business, wellness, malnourished children. There's every way you look at it, there's something good in Manitech. And I'd like to say a huge thank you to Amanda. Amanda partners with some other presidentials in the U.S. Amanda's Canadian, like me. I wear two hats now. And they always say yes, their team, they've got a Teaming Up to Zoom team, a group of them, a collaborative, and they always say yes to supporting this call, which is part of the feel of our international Manitech family. Now, Amanda, she's a presidential with Manitech. She's been with the company for over 20 years. And prior to that, she was a career banker working for a large bank in Canada as account manager. Once she saw what Manitech had discovered and patented, she was hooked. She quit her job after 1 year and never looked back. She said it's the best decision she ever made. She's trained all over North America teaching and training for Manitech, was a coach for Hilton John Multi-Level University for 4 years, and is a bronze Toastmaster. Amanda is enthusiastic. Her enthusiasm is contagious, and she loves helping others achieve their goals and dreams. And so today, we're going to be talking about everything home business, leadership, success, personal development, women in business. Very pleased to have Amanda. Thank you for being here.
Oh, my pleasure, Sharon, that's for sure. I want to come to Australia one day, so maybe with these calls going, maybe Manitech will send me down your way.
Oh, wouldn't that be good?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, it really does support people to hear other people's journey. It's a really important type of call that we do here because, success, we always say success leaves clues. And it really does give everybody a leg up to embrace what other people are doing. So I think we always go back to how you got started. And it's always often colorful with Manitech. How did you get introduced and started in the company? Did you just welcome it with open arms or?
Well, actually, almost amazingly, yes. So I will tell you my story. And it's fun. I've kind of expanded on it a little bit more because I was talking to a friend of mine, or she's in my business rather, and I was telling her a little bit more than the actual beginning story that I always told. And she goes, that's exciting. I can picture that. So I'm going to tell you a little bit more than normal. So I was working, as you said, it was 23 years ago. And I was working for CIBC. I was an account manager. And what that meant was I looked after high-end clients. I did business loans. I did personal loans. I did mortgages. I did investments. We had to know a lot of stuff. And I loved my customers. I loved what I actually did. But we had long hours. They didn't pay us overtime. We had tremendous stress, high targets. And I was looking at this whole thing. And Paul was also a banker, my husband, which he did do the 40 years and got his pension. But I was looking at how hard we were working and how much we had to know. And I was away from my family. We had to take courses at night and on the weekends and didn't get paid for that. I'm not trying to say it was a terrible job. It was a great job, but there was a lot expected of you. And I just thought, I don't think they're paying me enough for what I need to know and what I have to do. So I was open to looking for something. And I had sold Alouette Skincare for only about 3 months. But I had tremendous success with that. But it was just when I was starting my career with the bank and also my children were little and something had to go. So unfortunately, I let the direct sale job go and I went with the bank. So anyway, this is many years later. And I was doing a course by Anthony Robbins. Every day you did a disc. It was over 30 days. And in this program, he was talking about total freedom. He said financial freedom and time freedom. And anybody can have it. I remember those words. Anybody can have it if they want it. Well, I thought, I want that. I want financial freedom. I want to be in charge of my life. I want time freedom. I want to be my boss. I think my future is better in my hands than anybody else's. And so I was open, as they say. I was in the looking zone. And because I've had a positive experience with direct sales before that, I didn't have any negative feelings. So it's actually one of my clients Linda Cabeza, was an airline hostess for Canadian, and she was just in my office, and I just said, "What are you up to, Linda?" And I wasn't asking, just, it's just a comment you make. And she said, "Oh, I'm all excited. I've just joined this new company." Funny you should ask. And I said, she wasn't trying to pitch me or anything. It was strictly, she was answering my question. So I said to her, "Oh, well, what kind of a company is it?" She goes, "Well, it's, nutritional," I think she might have said vitamins or something. Well, I didn't even take vitamins. I was just not interested in that. But I said to her, "What's it from?" And she said, "The aloe plant." And I thought, well, I certainly know about the aloe plant because I sold Aloette Skincare, and that was the name of the company from the aloe plant. So I mulled it over on the weekends, and then I thought, maybe her company could be my way out. So I called her back, and this is what I said to her: "Linda, I'd like to hear about your business. If anyone ever calls you and says that, pay attention." So she said, "Okay." She came down to the bank. She had an armload of stuff, and the guy that signed her up, he's got an armload of stuff. He's coming with her down to the bank. So I get them in my office and shut the door. I go, "Oh my God, what have I started here?" Anyway, that night I took all this stuff home, but there was one particular piece in there. It was a VHS, big video. Stuck it in the machine, and I watched this, and I went berserk. I was so excited because what they said on that video was this company had discovered the secret of the aloe plant, and they had patented that discovery. And I thought, I don't know what they're doing with this, but whatever it is, I just struck gold because I knew about the aloe plant. I knew the power of it. And I thought I knew it had secret powers. So I wasn't sure what they were, but they said they had patented the secret powers of the aloe plant. So I was in. But this is the other part of the story I wanted to share. So they had a Saturday training. And back then, you would get a certificate in your kit. And you could go to a training. It would cost you $25. Or you could use a certificate. And the guy that had introduced me to the company, well, it was Linda, her guy that signed her up. He said, "Now, if you go to this meeting, if you don't sign up, you have to pay $25. But if you do sign up, it won't cost you anything." He sends me to that meeting all by myself. He didn't even come. And it was like a half an hour, 40-minute drive. Well, my sister came with me. And as we're driving in, back then it was $1,000 for the business pack. And our dollar was so weak, it was like $1,700 it was going to cost me. But I said to her, "You know what, Valerie?" I said, "I'm signing up whether you do or not. So you make your own decision. Just know that I'm signing up." So we go there. I get the form. I fill it out. The lady gives me back the form. She says, "You have to go and fax that into the company." I take the form. I go to the bank because I have a key to the bank. I open the door on a Sunday, go in, I fax my own form in. Nothing could have stopped me from not signing up with the company. Nothing. I did everything myself. Can you imagine that? Like, oh my gosh.
No.
Anyway, so I did it part-time for a year, and it was going really well. I mean, everybody that crossed my path heard about it because I believed I had struck gold, and I had to share it with everybody I knew. Nobody had to tell me what to say, how to say it, who do you talk to, nothing. I was on fire. And so everybody heard it. My customers, I could have gotten fired. I would close the door and I'd tell them all about it. And so anyway, after a year, I quit my job, and my husband was so funny because we went out for breakfast after church one morning, and I said, "I've got something that I want to talk about." "What's that?" I said, I'm quitting my job, and I'm going into Manitech full time." He goes, "Shouldn't we have discussed this first?" But anyway, so that was that. And yeah, I never looked back. I probably, in hindsight, quit my job a little too soon. But, the way it was growing, I just thought, well, if I could put my whole attention to it, then it's really going to grow. So but it was never a mistake. It was the right thing to do. I never stopped it. I have never gone to another company. I've never quit. I have never even thought about it. You know why? Because Manitech has never missed a check for me in 23 years. I got my check no matter what. And what I've always seen from head office is that every time they make changes and stuff, they're trying to make it better for us. That's how I've always seen it. They're trying to make us the best tools. But I never had a reason to go looking elsewhere. Never, never, never. And still glad to this day, even more so now that I stayed the course, because our head office team is amazing, like Al Bella and everything about it. You know, Sharon, I'm in love with this company. I always have been. Products are amazing. Why would I go anywhere else? So anyway, that's my long story.
Oh, that's a lovely story. And I'm sure everybody on this call, if we could see each other, they'd be nodding their head, oh, I want somebody to call me and say, I want to start your business.
Tell me about it. I haven't had that happen real. I did once with Gary and Patty Browett, and they're really, really good friends of ours. I had shared the business with them and the products because she had some health challenges. And then he called me back about 3 years later when he was leaving the bank. See, so you never know when you're setting a seed. And he said, I want to know more about your business. So, yeah.
That's fantastic, isn't it? It's such a way to bless people. And, you know, the magic of aloe, that simplifies our message, isn't it? Absolutely.
Totally. Yes, yes. And it still is the magic of our products, let's face it.
So you've, you know, explained clearly, obviously, about how you got started, just out of that sheer passion and excitement about what you had your hands on. What was your journey to presidential like and beyond? Like, you know, I think it's easy for people to sit on the outside and think it's probably just a smooth sailing rocket ship. Everything went perfect, but I've only ever heard one or two of those kind of cases. Is by far the majority. What was your journey like?
Well, I tell you what, when we first started, we didn't have a presentation. Valerie and I had to sit down and learn how to make a PowerPoint presentation so that we would have a presentation. So we had to learn. The learning curve was horrific. And I mean, I remember my first presentations. And if you can remember way back, Manatech came out with this newspaper. They had a newspaper and it had the products in there and stuff. That was my presentation. I'd be holding this newspaper up and I'd be pointing, plus is blah, blah, blah. And I'd be reading this right off the newspaper. And I had the hardest time trying to figure out what the products were for. Like, it was the Phytolo and the Plus, and then there was the Manipol, and thinking, okay, this one's for your hormones and this one's your vitamins. And I really had to study. I had some learning to do when I started my business. So there was that. And then, oh gosh, I really got into the personal growth. That's for sure. I mean, I embraced it. I loved the books and I loved the courses. I have spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on training for myself. And not just, that's not about Manatech. That is, you know, Tony Robbins I've been to, Eric Worre. I mean, you name them, I've been there. I paid as much as $3,000 for a weekend course thinking I'd get the magic bullet, you know? So I've done a lot of personal growth, worked right through everything. But there is, like, you've got to really have your strong vision and know why you're doing this. I mean, I tell you what, when I joined, I saw people that were presidential, and I thought, if they can, this was absolutely my thought pattern, if they can do it, I can do it. They're people. They were just normal people. And I remember Vivian Sakuchi was one of the ones, my heroes. I never did know her back then, but I heard about this little cow lady from the farm and had built this big business. So I didn't know that she was traveling all the time, that her husband was really cranky about it all. But I just heard that she was making all this money, and I thought, well, if she can do it, I can do it. So I just knew I was going to presidential. I did not have any idea what it would take when I joined. But I'll tell you something else, Sharon, that really did grab me in a big, big way was I made the decision, but I didn't really understand how network marketing worked. And I was only in about a month. And I read that book by Don Falia called The Napkin Presentation. And when I read that book, it was like a light came on for me because, as you know, I was a banker. So I had done business loans. I knew what it took to get into business. It took 50,000, 100,000, 200,000. They put their house up. They signed personal guarantees. They put everything on the line. And then they would work like horrific hours to try to get their business going. And I'm looking at this. I'm looking at the compounding, like you tell 4, and then they tell 4, and then they tell 4. I'm thinking, oh my gosh. And I don't have to get inventory, and I don't have to deliver product, and I don't have to collect money. and I can make unlimited income. Are you kidding me? This is a no-brainer. It was just, and so really back then, and even to this day, when somebody doesn't get it, I just think they're stupid. I'm just thinking, if they're going to be rude to me about network marketing, save your breath, because you will never bother me about it, because I know the power. I know how it can change your life. I know what it's like to be in charge of your life now and not have to work those big long hours. And I can take off and go anywhere I want. I've got this fabulous, amazing big team like yourself. Your team has invited me on here. I love this. It makes me feel good. Here I am speaking on a call to people in Australia. And that blows my mind still to this day. So I know what we have here. And so for all of you that are here on the call, oh my gosh, don't ever let go of this. And it's not just network marketing that's so amazing, but it's Manitech that's even more so amazing. Like, if you listen to Richard Brooke these days, and he knows, he's been around, he said Manitech is one of those diamonds in the rough. And we've got the products, we all know that. And we've got everything. If you can't do it with Manitech, you can't do it. That's what I'm going to say. Honestly, truly. Yeah.
And I mean, I imagine with your background in business and banking and really solidly knowing that this is absolutely risk-free and has far greater potential income than most businesses that you'd be, approving loans for. But for people listening today, some people have all kinds of different backgrounds. How do you help your team understand that business power and that posture around how amazing not only our company is, but this opportunity?
Well, that is just education. And I think Richard Brooke is doing a really, really wonderful job of that piece, Sharon, because I must say a lot of my people, I couldn't understand it when I started, because Valerie and I put together this presentation, and what we didn't realize at the time is that we had created the perfect presentation. And we honestly did not know. And we didn't just make it up out of our heads. We read books by Big Al Schreiber and stuff, and he said exactly how it should be. It should be 5 minutes on the company and 5 minutes on the this. And we learned, we were sponges, we were coachable. And so we put together this presentation. And what I found was the first part was on the company and the products, and the last part was on the business. And it was really easily laid out. Anyone could have gone through it. But all my women that I would bring in, for instance, they'd go through the first half, but then they wouldn't want to show the second half. And I could never figure that out. Because we would always, when we sat down with somebody, say, we're going to show you the company, we're going to show you the product, but do you mind if I also show you a bit about the business? It may or may not be for you. I don't know if that would have been my language back then, but, but just would it be okay if I showed you the whole thing? And they would always say yes to me. But what I found is that a lot of the girls that I brought in, or the women that I brought in, weren't comfortable to talk about the business. And I didn't understand that for a very long time. So they always just got product takers. Well, the highest you could get by just promoting product was in our old comp plan, the national level, about 5,000 in volume. You'd get there and you'd kind of be tapped out. And so what it was is that they didn't believe that they were business people. So they didn't feel comfortable to talk about the business, because a lot of times they hadn't been successful yet, and they didn't feel like a business person. And so they were uncomfortable to talk about it, where I wasn't, because I had sat with people and taken personal statements and, negotiated rates. And my training really stood well for me. It really was, yeah. And, Valerie she still is my sister. She worked for the RCMP as a 911 operator. So we had a very strong background, a banker and a police person, so that got rid of a lot for other people. It got rid of a lot of questions. Because if she works for the RCMP and you work for the bank, then these women must know.
Yeah.
Right. So it helped us there. But yeah, it was people wouldn't talk about the business because they didn't feel they had the skills or the knowledge. And so I would say, reading Richard's book, because what was in the napkin presentation was also in Richard's book. And I want to point out that his wife wrote a book as well. Are you aware of that, Sharon? You probably are. Okay. I think that before you order a bunch of books, especially the women on the call here, read Kim's book. That's his wife. Because his book is kind of written for men, and it's very right brain, and it's not warm and fuzzy. But she wrote it, and she kept saying to him, Richard, I want you to change, because I heard a big long interview that she went through. You need to make it, a little bit more for women. He couldn't do that because he was a man. So she rewrote the book for women. And so I think I would recommend you read it first. You can get it on your iPad. Like I just bought it for under $10, I think, on Amazon. So I could read it and see what I thought. It's a 4-year career, but it's by Kim Brooke. Okay. Kim, Kim, that's his wife's name. And I don't know if you can buy it through Manitech, if they've got both books there, I'm not sure. But I'm just recommending read it before you make the purchase, that's all. Yeah, but I think that education is the key.
He's doing a bunch of series of boot camps for North America right now. And I think those recordings are available on, I've got it in my diary to watch them, but
it's success.manitech.com.
Oh, that's right. It's in there. Yeah.
And they've got it's so easy to find. Thank goodness. Success.manitech.com. And it's, there's a tab for Richard. And I'd highly recommend that your whole team go through all those trainings. Yeah.
It's getting rave reviews. So for those of you on the call that are on Facebook, make sure you're in that North American group. You have to filter because all our regions are a little bit different, but there's a lot of education there that's really powerful. And so hiccups, and what did you do? You must have had times when things went wrong. What's your coaching for people when, it's not smooth sailing?
Okay. There was one particular year that was really horrible. It was 2008. I'm going to tell you the whole story. I was diagnosed with colon cancer. My sister had lost her vision, not her eyes, her vision for Manitech. And so she quit. I dropped back down to executive, so my income dropped like a rock. And my husband, because I got cancer, I was getting worried that I wouldn't get time to have a retirement and have some fun before I died. I'm still here. It's been a long time, so I'm okay. But that's how your mind goes, right? And so I was trying to get Paul to retire early. And so by retiring early, he would have lost a portion of his pension, probably a good portion of his pension. So thank goodness he didn't, because then like the whole economy, I suppose was it everywhere or just North America? Our savings had dropped by thousands and thousands, and it scared Paul, so he didn't quit his job. Thank goodness he stayed. And so that was a hard time. And my sister wanted me to go into this other company with her. She'd tried a bunch, like all the people that leave Manitech, they tried this and they tried that and they tried this. And they're like, we call them gypsies because they can't find a new home. And then she tried really hard to get me to go over, and I had to make a decision. And my other sister went with her, and they were having all this fun over here, and I wasn't having any fun over here. And I thought, what am I going to do? And then I made my decision. Paul and I talked about it. He said, Mandy, why would you leave Manitech when you know what they've got? You know the heart of this company. Why would you even think about it? And I said, you're right. Why would I? I really wouldn't. Never would I go. So I had to say to them, no, not going. And it was a very hard time in our family, because then now there's this uncomfortable division. Valerie and I used to talk every single day. She was my best friend, my partner. We'd laugh, we cried, we did everything together. And all of a sudden, then some of my people went, and I wasn't even talking to her. Can you imagine that? It was a hard time. And for about, I want to say 3 years. It wasn't like a couple of months. It was horrible. And now we're back. We talk every day. She's in another company, and we share ideas. We share, okay, this is working for me. What are you working? And then she still has her Manitech position as well. So I'm actually building her business for her. I'm happy to do that, because I wouldn't have met any of those people if it wasn't for her connections, but Oh boy, it was hard, 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 Sharon, I'm telling you. And, I knew I had some lessons to learn. Like, you don't get those hard things thrown at you unless you are learning a lesson. And I had to learn forgiveness. I had to learn there's enough love to go around, that, there's more than enough love to go around. I learned about myself that I'm very loyal, and I'm not a quitter. So those are some of the good things. But even the lessons that I learned, I always know in life I'm mature enough, I'm old enough to know when you're going through something hard, you're going to learn a lesson. That's what's going on. And you're going to come out the other end. And you will not learn that lesson until you learn that lesson. You're going to keep learning it until you get it. That's the way it goes. So I really had to learn total forgiveness. There was lots of lessons in there. But wow, I'm just a better person for it. And so anyone that's going through anything, you're learning something. Bo Short, he was with us a short time. Bo Short. He's now with my sister's company. But one of the things he said that really made sense was he said, everybody is either going into something or coming out of something. It doesn't matter who you are. And I thought, you know what? That is so true. It doesn't matter if you're rich or poor or good looking or not, or whatever's going on, everybody is going into something or out of something. So just know you're not alone if you're going through something crappy, and you'll come out the other end.
Absolutely. And, one of the things I've learned through my personal growth is that a commitment to something is never as deep as it can be when until you question that and have an opportunity to question it, where you question, and when you recommit to Manitech, no, this is right for me. It's a much deeper commitment and more connected to your why as well, if you have the courage to question it. Mm-hmm. I've had many of those lessons myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was fantastic. And out of that, you would have, I guess, just be stronger.
Really and truly. Yeah, like you say, you recommit. I mean, I wasn't really ever going to leave ever, but they were really putting the pressure on me. And so, yeah, once you commit again, it's like, well, I know now. There's just no question. There's just no question.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm telling everyone on the call, like if you're going through a hard time or your business isn't where it needs to be or whatever, the grass is not greener. Not. My sister's even told me that. She said, you know what I realize now? She said, it's not the company, it's you. Mm. So as long as you've got a good company, and we know that if we were just selling widgets or something, then go find something else, find something you're excited about. But our products are amazing, and you will not get that anywhere else. That's my belief anyway.
And it probably, would you say it's true for you when you had a health scare? Another, moment of reckoning really is that Ambertose would be the first thing you'd reach for.
Oh, tub after tub after tub. I think I was eating a tub a day. Mm. And I could tell you I won't tell you my story about that, because for sure something's going to go out of compliance, so I just won't. But oh yeah, I just, it was my alarm for the call at 3. We turned that off. We had our times screwed up here a little bit.
We did.
So I was going to be on the call on time. But yeah, I've got such faith with these products, such faith. And they've really helped me in all kinds of ways with my health. I mean, I'm 66 now, and I am not on any drugs, nothing. We don't even have an aspirin in this house. We don't have any painkillers. We have nothing. I can work out. I'm never tired. Well, sometimes, but not really. Like some people in the afternoon, they can hardly keep their eyes open. I don't get that. I can work out. I can go on a treadmill for an hour. Not even a problem. And that all comes from my Manitech products, I tell you. Because when I worked at the bank, I found the longer the hours were, the worse I ate. I'd be picking up McDonald's on my way to work in the morning. Lunch was probably grilled cheese sandwich, fries, and a coffee, and maybe back in the day, a cigarette. And, I don't even know if I'd be alive today if I hadn't, changed jobs and changed and started looking after my body with good nutrition. Really, my husband too. I mean, we're just in the best shape. We can walk and walk and walk and ride bikes and go golfing. And, that's how you want to spend your, what do you call them, your twilight years?
The last half.
Yeah.
I hear some creative descriptions because I'm there too. So out of that, Amanda, I know we talked about we wanted to focus on what you do in regarding to get new people started, and also what you recommend more specifically for that napkin presentation. I know in Australasia we're representing multiple teams here today.
Okay.
Many teams do have some form of napkin as part, maybe an entry-level video and then a meeting. What do you recommend, and what do you do with your new people?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked me that, Sharon, because we have just recently, this has been in the last few months, that we have created what I think is probably the most simple and easy to show presentation. And because I've just been reading a couple of network marketing books, and there was one, I don't know where it was from, Network Marketing Times, and they had all kinds of stories in there, but I kept reading the same thing over and over, and that was these people that had big, huge, humongous downlines had a simple, easy, duplicatable system. And I thought, wow, like, I don't know about you guys, but I felt for a long time that I just didn't even know what to do with a new person. Like, where would I even start? Because we have all these videos and tremendous things, but what do I do? So what we put together was it was actually, some of it was what Valerie and I used at the very beginning. And so we would start out with three simple questions. And now we've changed it up a little bit because we've added some of Richard Brooks stuff in there. So we've got a few slides that we didn't even have any slides. It was just ask some questions, go into the video. We used the Manitex video, which is called, I have to give you the name of it. I can't think of it right now. Diane Sweeney's on here. Maybe Diane, you could type it in there if you can think of it. Life on Your Terms. That's it. In the library. So this is how it looks. You would say, if we were doing the three of it, it was maybe Sharon, you, and Gary. We've got Gary shown there. So let's say that Gary is your new person. So you're going to come onto a Zoom. We're going to use a Zoom. You're going to introduce Gary to me, and you're going to say all kinds of nice things about me. And then I'm going to say all nice things about you back. Gary, you're so lucky to have Sharon, and she's one of my best leaders, and blah, blah, blah. So now I'm going to take over. I'm going to do the interview, and I'm going to ask Gary questions. I'm going to say, tell me, a little bit about yourself. So I'm gonna, even though you would have filled me in before that, Sharon, I'm gonna get to know Gary. I'm gonna say, tell me about yourself. Are you married? Do you have children? Where do you work? And he's gonna start talking about himself. And I'm gonna really listen. The way Richard Brooks tells us to really listen. And then, because in there somewhere, then I'm gonna say to him, Gary, I'd like to ask you, what brought you to the table today? Why are you here at this meeting? And that's when I'm gonna really listen. And by the way, Sharon, this is all listed out. It's all written out. So then Gary's going to tell me. So now I know why he's here. I'm going to say, well, my job's coming to an end. Whatever it is, doesn't matter what it is. I'll say, okay, Gary, that's perfect. Well, I'm just going to get started then. And then the first thing that first slide says, we're looking for, we can help 3 different types of people. 1, people that would like some part-time or full-time income, or people that just want better health, or people that would like better health and would like to share with a few friends and family. And there is a 4th choice, Gary. I want you to know that once you've seen the information, if you're not interested, that's another choice. And so please let us know if that's a case for you, because you always want to give them an out. And that's something I learned from Ray Higdon. Like, this has all been thought out very carefully, Sharon. So then we do go through a few slides now, and we explain the compounding. We explain an asset income, what that means. We show them some kind of the money that they could make. A little worried about that slide if I'm sharing this with you guys, because I'm not sure if it hasn't gone through compliance. But we do have a disclaimer saying your efforts are going to make your income, sort of thing. What else have we got in there? But anyway, we explain how network marketing works. That you're not going and having to, get 1,000 people on product. You get a few, who get a few, who get a few. So we explain all of that before we get to the video. And then we show the Manitech video. It's 8 minutes long. And then we come back and we go back to those 3 questions. So Gary, remember we said you could come to make extra income, or you just want good health, or you want to share with a few friends and family, or you're not interested. Where do you see yourself? And that's the closing question. And so then he's going to answer whatever it is, right? And quite often they'll say, well, I need more information about the product. Great, you know, and then we go down that trail. Or if he says, well, actually, I want to make extra money. That's why I'm here. That's what I'm here for. I would say right then and there, great, are you ready to get started? Because we had shown in another slide that it's $49.99 and a few things, so now he knows the price. So then we'd say, great, are you ready to get started? And so we get him signed up at the $49.99, and then he'll pick his pack, whatever that's going to be. And it could be whatever's right for him. And again, that's another Ray Higdon thing, is that you don't decide how much they should spend. They can spend $30 or $1,000. It's whatever they want to do. So you'll go through all the different options at that point. So it's very clean. It's very easy to use. We have just started using it, but I'll be honest with you on that. Can we get a copy? Yeah, I'll send this to Sharon. And Sharon, you can decide if it looks okay to share with people, because it's up to you. I don't want to ever put something out to your team that you haven't checked, right? But what I was going to say is part of it, my sister has used to build her other business, that the 3 questions, and we did that right at the beginning when we started building our Manitech business, but that's how it started. We're looking for 3, we said it, we're looking for 3 kinds of people. We've tried to reword that so it's not about us, it's about them. So we're looking for 3 kinds of people, you know, so it's so honoring. It's so easy. It's so not pushy. So people, when you say, please, if you're not interested, please feel free to tell me. We need to know that. And it's okay. So you're giving them an out, so now they can relax about the whole thing, you know? And now that we've got like $50 to sign up, it's just a no-brainer. Like, it's just not, you know, there's just no risk for people. Yeah. So, yeah, so we will share this with you absolutely positively. Like I said, it hasn't gone through compliance, it hasn't gone through head office at all, but 99% of it is 100% okay. And even the only one slide there that may create an issue, alarm's going again, is that maybe the numbers aren't 100% right, but we have the disclaimer. So, and when you get,
it's so dependent, isn't it? That part.
Pardon me?
There's so many variables in what can happen with income. It's impossible to accurate. You can only just do a mathematical potential.
And you have to let people know. Like, they can't even envision what kind of money you could make. So, you know, you can't leave things to let their imagination fill in the blanks, because they have no idea. They have no idea how this business works. They don't have any idea what unlimited income means. They don't know what an asset means. Well, they might need to know that, but that your business is actually something you could sell. Or like, my business is worth $1 million because it cash flows as if I had that kind of money in the bank. You know, they don't know any of that. So yeah, you got to show them what, some kind of income that they could make. Some of them will resonate with $500 a month, and some will resonate with $10,000 a month.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, what you said about, you know, we can help these kind of people, or we have solutions for people looking for these things, really puts it back in there in a service perspective, doesn't it?
Yes. And when I send you the slide presentation, there's 2 things to know. One is you're going to see some slides, but they'll be hidden when you actually hit, you know, to start the slideshow, because some of them are just instructions on how to use this system. And I've got to give kudos to Christy Cosell on my team, because she's a detail person and I am not a detail person. So she's put every little step in there. We call her, she's our Virgo. And so there's some slides that are hidden because they won't show up in the presentation. And then When it comes to the video, what I found is she's downloaded it into the slide presentation, which is fantastic. But when you click it to play it from there, they can hear it, but they can't see it. So what I do, and if I can find out from Christy how we can all download it, so because it's really sweet if it's right in the slide presentation, you're not going in and out of it. But what I do is just go right into the library. I pull it up, and I have it at the bottom of my computer, so it's ready to go. I'm not fishing around looking for it before I do a presentation, and then I can just click on it, and it comes up nice and quickly.
Yeah, you could just have a couple tabs open, couldn't you?
Exactly.
Ready to go.
Yeah. And then also in a Zoom, you probably know this, but when you first go in to share your screen, there's a little button that says share the audio on the computer. And if you don't click that little button, and I think Christy's even got that in the instructions, I believe she does, that way people can hear it well. It won't be weird when they listen to it. So
perfect.
You know what we could even do, if this was something you wanted to do, we could go through it. I could do a demo on it to show you what it looks like, the presentation.
Did you want to do that today?
I could. I mean, I've got the time. I don't know about you guys.
We've got 20 minutes left, so it probably would take longer than that, but you could just walk through it.
I could walk you through it, and I just won't show the video because that takes time. And then you can get a visual. That's a great idea.
You should be able to...
If I can share my screen.
I might have to make you host.
You know what? No, I am a panelist. I've got the share button here. Good. So let me try. Host disabled participant screen sharing. What does that mean? I don't know.
I'll just make you host.
Okay. And just know I haven't pulled everything up. Well, yeah, it's okay.
We don't need the video yet.
Right. You are now the host. Ooh, I'm in power. Watch out, Sharon. Okay, so.
Okay, see you later. I'll go for a cup of tea.
So I'm going to share my screen. I don't have everything done here, so I'm going to do this. Okay, so here we are. So you can see my screen now?
Yep.
Yes, okay. So you can see, look on the left, and you can see how these ones are X'd out because they are the instructions, okay? So the logistics of the Zoom meetings, like I say, Christy did all this, and she's got every little thing laid out. And then this is introduction for a group presentation or for private two-on-one. I mean, she just covered everything. Just blows my mind. So, so just know that those are instructions. But see, when I go, let me move this far down here. When I go slideshow, like that, slideshow, and how'd it go? Slideshow from beginning. That's where it starts, okay? So we've got the 40-year career or the 4-year career. So in the instructions, it would have told you about the rapport building, doing all of that, and then we go to the slideshow. So we've got the 4-year career versus the 40-year career. It's your choice. So you can just talk around that. So who can we help? That's where we made it a little bit nicer. Someone who wants to make a little extra income or full-time income or more. Someone who would like to take their health and vitality to the next level, or someone who would like to take the product and share with some friends or family. Or you might not be interested right now, and that's okay. So we tell them all about that. As far as in my way. Okay, so that's our choices. So then, just want to explain the 3 types of income that there are. So one is earned income, and that would be like me in the bank when I work for the bank. You're trading time for money. Somebody who's got their own business like a hair salon or a doctor's office even, that as soon as you quit working, you don't make any more money. That is earned income. Then you've got investment income. An example is you've got money in the bank and you're getting interest from that money monthly. That would be investment income. Then there's network marketing income. So that's monthly income paid to you for the rest of your life based on the sales of you and your team. So sort of like the royalty income or the asset income above. So that's explaining the 3 types of income. So then we just show them the difference between traditional sales and network marketing, and this is so key to people. We want you to understand that You are not doing all this yourself. So if we were trying to move $1 million in product, in traditional sales, say I had my own company, I would hire 100 salespeople and tell them each that they've got to do $10,000 in sales every month. And there would be targets around that and money around that. Network marketing is working on opposite. So it would be like getting 10,000 people each to sell $100. So it's many people all doing a little, and that's the difference. So network marketing works because the people on your team simply redirect a portion of their spending and buy from their own store. So you'll see that when we show you the video. Manatech has a wonderful array of products. It's got skincare and weight loss and nutritional products and all kinds of wonderful products that you are buying somewhere else right now. And so if you just bring those sales into your own store, you can make a really good income from that. But this is the power that blew my mind as a banker, the compounding. So if you look at the numbers here on the left, if you just told 2 people, and then they told 2 people, there'd be 4 of you. 4 people tell 2, and there's 8 of you. 8 tell 2, and there's 16. But watch what happens when you just add 1 more person to the mix. 3 people tell 3, that's 9. 9 people tell 3, that's 27. 27 tell 3, that's 81. But the matrix that we use is 4. So now look how the numbers increase just by adding 1 more person. That is the power of compounding, and that is the power of network marketing. 4 people tell 4 people, that's 16 people. 16 tell 4, that's 64 people. And look at how, just compare those 3 columns, and you can see how just by adding 1 more person to the mix, how much quicker it explodes your business. And so, I'll see what Christy's typed in here. Unlike traditional sales and network marketing, everyone gets to build, oh, that clock of mine, their own sales team from day 1. And that's how it goes, and there's support every step of the way. So I just really wanted to go over that so you would understand how network marketing actually works. And then to show the income, the possibilities of income. And this again is on the 4 who find 4, compounding for 4 levels. So we got 16 people on product. The average product sale in Manatech is $160. So 16 people all buying $160 would be about $2,500 in product move, would make you about $500 every single month. That's the income I'm telling you about. Then 16 people tell 4, that's now you've got 64 people all buying $160 worth. That's over $10,000 in product move. That would bring you in about $1,200 every month. And then we go another level, 256 people, that's over 40,000 in volume, would bring you over $5,000 a month, every month. And then 256 people tell 4, that's over 1,000 people, 163,000 in product move. Your income could be as high as 16,000. So you've got to know that this is just a template, and it won't work exactly like this, but this is just an example of what could be achieved. But it's really going to be on your effort and how hard you work and how smart you work on how quickly your business will grow. This is an idea of what's available. So, so now after that, I would show the video. So I would stop at that point and say, okay, I'm just going to show you a company video now. It's about 8 minutes long, and then I let that play through. And then we come back to here. So how much does it cost to get started? It's $49.99 US dollars. That's in Canada and US, pardon me. And that'll open your account to the business. And then you pick the product pack that's right for you. So anywhere between $30 to $1,000. You can buy as little or as much as you want. And we can go over that, together. And this is not a job. You're building an asset that's going to bring you money in every month. That's why we call it a 4-year career. You'll have tax write-offs, set your own hours. You can grow an international business. As you see, we're in 27 countries. And you just invite people to just have a look at your presentation. That's all you're doing. So where do you see yourself? Are you someone that wants to make a little extra money or full-time income? Are you someone that simply wants to take care of your health and vitality? Are you someone that would like to take the product and share with a few friends and family? Or are you just not interested? Where do you see yourself, Gary? That's it.
Gary came in for the business. Yeah,
Okay. $49.99, Gary. Okay, I'll stop share. So there
no,
you go.
that's excellent.
You know what? It does the job.
And the time freedom, the ability to just do whatever you like, you know, every day and have that choice. That was a big one for me.
Me too. Like, I don't know what you did before or what you're doing now for a job, but in the bank, it was a long friggin' day. I mean, you were come home, then you're going to make dinner for the kids, and Paul does most of the cooking now. No, he does all of the cooking. But it's hard life working like that. If you can just get over your fears, you will have freedom like you can never imagine. So Sharon wanted me to share a little bit, what does my life look like? So we have been to South Africa with Manatech, all paid by Manatech. I've been all over the States. We've been to Hawaii over and over and over, all paid by Manatech. You know, I've won lots of the incentives. I've been in the Alaska cruise about 3 times. I mean, it just goes on and on and on and on. And I just can come and go as I please. I don't even think about it anymore. Like, nobody can tell me what to do. And the income is there. I don't have to work anymore. But you know what? I just can't leave my team behind because they're not there yet. And that's just not there. I've made money. I've got this lifestyle because of their hard work. How could I possibly quit working and supporting them? So I love it, right? Yeah.
There's always an upside, really, isn't there? You know, it's managing your focus, which comes to my next question. What kind of success tips do you have for helping people, you know, keep their mindset right, keep focused in the right direction?
And Diane's saying we have fun. She's on my team. We have a call every morning to get things going. But okay, I'm going to say, well, first of all, I think you have to start your day right. I think it's a whole package. That means get up in the morning. That's why we were doing this morning call. It's really to get me out of bed in the morning. So, you know, get up early, do something either on your own or with your team, whatever you want. Do a reading of some kind. Your personal growth has got to be daily. I find the minute we stop doing our reading and learning and listening, that we go off rail. So have your personal growth every morning. If you can speak to your team, if you want to have a little quick, you know, accountability call in the morning, that's a cool way to start. Then get down and work out. And I am not good at that. I am not faithful at that. But when I go and work out, I just feel like a new person. And I go down and I put my music on and I visualize. We visualize every morning on our call. Don't forget to visualize. Where are you going? Are you going to be presidential? What does it look like? Are you on the stage getting your recognition? And so these are things we're told over and over and over and over and over, Sharon, and nobody does them. And I'm telling you, it matters. These things matter. So grab your pen. So wake up, do some reading or listening, go work out, go for a walk, do something physical. Visualize where you're going. Because you're telling your brain, like you're letting your brain know what you want. Because it's like a computer. So if you don't tell it what you want, it's going to decide for you. It won't be very exciting. So these are important. Now, the one thing that Richard has said to do, and I've got to be honest, I haven't done it yet. I've started a little bit and then I don't, because I don't have to work. So I do have to work at getting myself motivated. But he says, you talk to one person a day about business. One a day. And he said, you're going to be doing 95% more than probably everybody in your company. One a day, a business person. And I do know, and if you're feeling down and out, if you get into activity, the down and out will go away instantly. The minute you start into doing activity, you just get this energy, and all of a sudden, like you're either going to be in a negative spiral or a good spiral going up. You can't be in both. And so the only way to get yourself out of a negative spiral is to start doing some activity, and all of a sudden it will change like that. I kid you not. So, you know, 5 a day, 10 a day, that's wonderful. But if you just did 1 a day, you would build a big business, especially if you're talking about the business. And so that would be it. It would be having a daily routine. You know, what is your daily routine? And don't try to do it like all on Friday and then don't do it for the rest of the week, because the fear comes back in. And, you know, when you're in activity and you're doing things, the fear goes away. But if you take a break, it's like you go back to square one again. It's like an elastic band, you know, so all the fear comes back and now you're scared and you don't know what to say and you won't say anything. But if you do a little bit every day, then you're going to work that muscle and that fear will go away.
That's brilliant advice. Amanda, where do you see Manatech going now into the next 5 years?
Oh, man, I tell you what, if you're new, if you just come to this company now, you just made the best decision of your life, because we've gone through our growing pains. We've gone through the good, the bad, and the ugly, and there's only one place that we can go now, and that is straight up. We've got the product, we've got everything that we need, we've got a great head office team, we've got tools. It just couldn't be a better time. And you know, over the last 10, 20 years, people are realizing that their food isn't the way it used to be. Like, there's a whole bunch of things that, you know, Dr. Nugent said 20 years ago, but now everybody knows. So the demand for our products has never been better. The products that Manatech has created are better than ever. Like, we've got Prime 7 now and the lash thing. And I mean, there's just so many fun, wonderful products that we can talk about. And so, and the skincare, it goes on and on. So you better get busy, because this is your chance. Your chance is now. And you're going to be using products anyway. Why not buy them from your own store? And people, like, the whole job scene has changed. So people they come out of university, there's nothing for them. There's no jobs. So people are desperate for income. So our timing just couldn't be better, period.
Yeah, it's a fabulous company, isn't it? And so what's in your heart to leave people with today?
I am going to say to you, if you stay the course, if you know what it is you're wanting, your vision, that if you don't quit, you will get there. The only way that you can fail here is to quit. But you also have to be busy. Like, you know, visualizing won't make it happen. You've got to actually talk to people. And if you believe in what if you believe in your products, you believe in this, if you're having trouble talking about the business, you just have to educate yourself some more to understand. I am telling you, as a banker, this is the best business plan on the planet. The best. You will not find a better business plan. No risk. You don't put any money. I mean, it's just crazy, actually. So get your beliefs strong and then talk to people, because they are desperate out there and they need you. And if they don't see it, that's the tough beans for them, because it's unfortunate. Or they might be fearful or whatever. But if you don't tell them, they'll never know. That's all I can say. And so don't be afraid, because they need to hear about it. And then they can make their decision. 1, 2, 3, or 4, you know? Okay.
Mandy, that's amazing. It's been a fabulous hour with you. You've given it all to us, and we're very appreciative. And for those of you listening, you know, the archive is now on YouTube in the short term. I have got a quote to fix my Dreamweaver site to get the audio archive back on time. But I'll put the link to the presentation for you to be able to download it in the comments on the YouTube. So in the next couple of days, it'll be up there. Next week, we have Dinah Hunter. It's a wellness focus call, nutritional glycans. Everybody that's attended the last 2 wish they had 20 people on it. So this is your call to action. And Amanda, God bless you. Thank you so very much for being here with us.
Wonderful. Thanks for having me, Sharon. And remember to ask head office to bring me down to Australia.
We'll do that.
Thank you.
We'll get onto that.
Okay, and I'll send
Thank
you
so much, everyone.
Bye.
Okay, fantastic. Have a great weekend, everyone. Thank you.
I think I'm still the hostess.